Alright, hey travelers, Chris here for unmatchedvoyages.com, back with another review. We are in Nikko in Japan, about 2 or 3 hour drive outside of Tokyo. I hope it's not too loud. We are unfortunately here during the rainy season. It's June, not the best time to go into nature. Never mind, we are checking out today the Ritz-Carlton Nikko. I'm super excited about this hotel. On the pictures at least it looks amazing, so I can't wait what we can expect on the inside. So let's go. This video is sponsored by our own website unmatchedvoyages.com, where you can find hotel and flight reviews, deals and promotions, destination reviews and much more. So click the link below or go to unmatchedvoyages.com to find out more. Alright, so let's talk first quickly about where the Ritz-Carlton is located. You can see here the whole of Japan with Tokyo roughly in the middle, and you can see already here the Ritz-Carlton Nikko is a little bit outside of Tokyo. Now the best way to get there is either by car. It takes around 2.5 hours coming from Tokyo, as you can see here. There's a lot of highways, it's quite easy to drive. Definitely can recommend that one. If you want to go by car, do keep in mind or do note that you have to go to Nikko first, which actually is also quite fast. It's around 2 hours or 3 hours by train, you can see here. However, you then have to take the last steps here over by either taxi or maybe the Ritz-Carlton also offers some kind of transportation, and you can come over here to the Ritz-Carlton that's not showing up. There we go. So you see it's not too bad, but definitely cars preferred because this is the countryside. And what a countryside it is. You can see here the beautiful nature. The hotel is right next to this Lake Chusenchi, a mountainous lake surrounded here. It's absolutely beautiful and stunning. And here's the hotel itself. It's quite low-key. The design is somewhat similar to other Ritz-Carltons in Japan, as they are using a lot of dark colors together with this bright wood and this kind of modern style, and also super nice landscaping, so very typical for the local culture. Now the entrance, the official one at least, comes from the parking lot. You can see it here at the bottom. There's plenty of parking spaces, and there's valet parking mandatory. It costs around $20 per day and night, so a 24-hour cycle, and you are then ready to enter the lobby. And again, it looks absolutely stunning, serene, and very, very Japanese. And also Nikko is famous for these wooden kind of craftsmanship elements, so you see that everywhere in the hotel. You then get to sit down for check-in. You can see it here a bit. We sat in the bar. We got a little bit of a warm hot towel, some snacks and tea to start the day. And once the checkout was cleared, we got to go to the elevator, go up to our floor. The elevator, by the way, very stylish. And we then got to our room here. Alright, so here we are in the garden guest room. First thing you notice when you come in is this absolutely beautiful local wood design that kind of gives you this separate area of entrance. And then once you come in to this room, it's just absolutely incredible. I love the contrast between these warm color tones from the wood and the light, and then you have this wall of greenery outside. It looks absolutely stunning, and it's also a very generous room size, to be honest. First up, you have here this very big bed. I do like how it looks here with these patterns, and you also have very simple ways of adjusting the light, and it seems like light is a very big topic and theme here in this room. You get a little Bose speaker, which is great, and once you come in, you have the other section, which is more of your living room. So if we come to here, this is where your TV is, which means that technically, I guess you cannot watch TV from the bed as easily. I don't think that's a problem, but just keep that in mind. And then you have here a seating area. They really like to have these couches. You have one outside and inside, and a big table. There's a kind of a commode here, and let's see what's in here. You get your water. I actually quite like this. This is a Ritz-Carlton branded aluminum water bottle. You also have, and it's a bit hard to see, you get your Nespresso machine, your water kettle. You have your mini bar if you need that. And then outside you have a small but really nice looking balcony. You get these massive floor to ceiling windows, and then it just feels incredibly private. You have a little seating area here that should fit easily 2 people with a little lamp. I don't know how to turn this on, but it looks very nice. And you even get a small kind of Japanese style stone garden. And also everything is framed by this amazing looking wood. It looks absolutely beautiful. Then we have to speak about this, which reveals the access to your very own super nice looking bathtub with a view. Now, I think we go around to the bathroom first and kind of see that in context. So opposite side to the bed, and you can close this up if you want to with these beautiful wooden doors. You come to the bathroom area. And once you come here, you see you have a his and her sink, meaning you have a sink here and a table, a vanity area, and also on the other side, there's a toilet, of course, Japanese toilet style, naturally. And once we turn around, you can see the shower room combined with this bathtub. And just this mix of greenery and this wonderfully big bathtub is absolutely stunning. I can't wait to try this out. One thing to note is the bathroom amenities are made by the Diptyque brand. I hope I pronounced that correctly, which is really nice. We love those. So thumbs up for that. I think it looks stunning. I can't wait to try this out a bit more. Honestly, I really love the textures everywhere, the wood and the materials. It just looks so nice. And also just noticed that the ceiling height is actually really high. So amazing. So far, really good. Can't wait to try out the rest of the hotel, but the rooms are amazing. Now let's talk amenities. I already showed you the bar, which is called the bar. You can see it really has a nice selection of whiskeys, and I really like the atmosphere. You have this little fireplace in the corner to the right here, which is also connecting to the lobby lounge, which is called the lobby lounge. Now, definitely naming wise not the most creative, but it looks just incredibly comfortable, be it during summer where we are here, but especially I believe during winter, this must just be the nicest contrast of warm, modern and cozy inside feeling against a cold, white, snowy outside. And I just really love the design here. And you can see also it is actually quite busy. I think it's the perfect kind of gathering point for a lot of guests, and it kind of ties the whole hotel together. And it also gives it a bit more of this rustic vibe with the wooden tones and the fireplace, which is great. They also had a little bit of an overview of activities you can do in the area. You can see here the map where the hotel is located, the lake, and some things to see around there. And there's also this little booklet where you can book or make some appointments for some different tours and activities around the area. So I believe you can definitely spend a couple of days there without getting bored. The Ritz-Carton Nikko then has 2 restaurants. One is called the Lake House, which I guess literally historically used to be a lake house. Actually, I'm not sure if it's any historic thing, but you can see it here. It's a bit of a freestanding building, but there is a little bridge that connects it to the main building, so you don't need to worry that you need to get outside when it's raining like it was on our first day here, so you can get there dry and nice. And you can see here a couple of things they offer. For example, a lunch, which is 13,000 yen, around $80 to $100. There are also some grab-and-go signature cocktails. You can have coffee and whatnot. So there's definitely a couple of options. This is more of a cafe instead of a full-on restaurant, I would say. But you do find proper main dishes there. Now, the other restaurant is a bit more on the high-end side. It is called the Japanese restaurant, following the naming convention in the hotel, I guess. And it looks really beautiful. You find some really high-end lunch and dinner options there, up $200, $300 a piece. But also the breakfast is at the restaurant, so we can show it to you. The restaurant itself is absolutely beautiful. You see the same kind of style of this like woodcraft elements. I really love that. And it is also really nicely furnished there. And this is where you have your breakfast. It sets you back around $50 roughly, and as with any Ritz-Carlton, even if you have a Marriott Bonvoy status, the breakfast is not included. What's nice is that there's an outdoor area, and you can see that on our second day actually the weather cleared up and we took the chance to eat outside. Now the breakfast is somewhat special in that you do have a small buffet option, but it's mainly a set menu. So you can see here the buffet, you have some juices, you have some yogurts and muesli and a little bit of honey and cereals, but that's it. Besides that, you have two options for the breakfast. You either have a Western or a Japanese breakfast. So my wife and I, we opted for one Japanese and one Western breakfast for comparison. It starts out for both with a really nice salad and a coffee or tea of your choice, as well as some pastries. You can see here some pain au chocolat, croissants, and some red kind of toast cubes with the Ritz-Carlton logo burned in, which is really interesting. On top of that, there is some local jam, I believe, and some local butter. And then the main kind of course comes, and you can see here it comes in this Japanese kaiseki style, kind of separated boxes with a lot of different food options. I think this is probably the most beautiful breakfast I've ever seen. It's so colorful, it looks amazing, and I have to say it also tasted really, really great. The downside then of this style of breakfast with the set menu is, of course, that there might be some things that you don't like and you don't really have a control over what they serve you. So either you leave food or you force it in, but especially if you're a bit more picky, or for me, for example, I'm more of a sweet eater, it gets a bit more complicated. Besides eating and drinking, you can also stay healthy. The Ritz-Carlton has a spa, it has a fitness studio, and also an onsen, a Japanese hot spring. Now you can jump into the provided nice Japanese style kind of bathrobe. You then walk towards a different housing complex where all of these amenities are in. I quickly looked into the fitness room. You can see it here. It definitely looks very high end. It's not the biggest selection of items, but everything that's in there looks quite good. And then you further go down a really, really nice path towards the spa and the onsen, where there's a little bit of kind of a lounge or a meet-up room where you can meet up before or after you go to the hot spring. And the hot spring is what we have to talk about now. Okay, so now let's talk about the onsen or hot spring that the Ritz-Carlton has. And this is something that you can find a lot in Japan. It's volcanically heated up sulfur water, and it's very nice to be inside. Now, the reason why I'm showing you the website instead of the actual onsen itself or my own video footage is that I'm not allowed to film inside the onsen. I also don't want to. I think it's a very private and intimate area, so I just wanted to tell you how it works here. Now, the onsen is free for any guest. You don't need a reservation, and how it works is you go to the changing room. You can see it down here, where you undress completely, put all your clothes into a locker. Now, these are gender separated, not only the changing rooms, but the onsen itself. So if you come there with your significant other of a different gender, you will not be able to go with them to the same onsen area. So just keep that in mind. You then go into the onsen area. There's a little shower area first where you clean yourself, and then you have either an indoor bath. You can see it here, and there's multiple ones of these. And then I think the highlight is this outside hot spring area, and it's a bit hard to see here the dimensions. It's fairly big, I would say around 15 to 20 people fit comfortably, and you can see how it is beautifully framed by the wood here. You have nature in front of you, and it still feels very private. And it's especially nice in winter when the contrast between the hot water and the outside temperature is very strong. It is definitely very serene, you can see it here, and something that I can highly recommend you to experience if you have not had the chance yet. Now, one thing I also found quite interesting is that the Ritz-Carlton specifically states that if you have tattoos, you are welcomed here. The reason for this is that usually in Japan, if you have tattoos, you're not allowed at a lot of public baths. Now, this I think is definitely a good thing, because I guess they want to be more open to also to foreign visitors, and that's of course great. So yeah, definitely absolutely worth a try. If you have the chance, you should definitely go to the onsen. Again, it's free, no reservation required, and if you have any questions, you can of course check with the staff how it all works. So then, this is the Ritz-Carton Nikko. We had a really good time. It is not a cheap hotel, but it's an extremely refined experience. It feels extremely luxurious. The amenities are fantastic, especially with the onsen, and I can also say that it feels extremely authentic. This is really what Japanese style, at least in a high-end version, is all about, and both my wife and I absolutely loved it. The rooms were phenomenal, especially the big bathtub with the view into the greenery is really great, and I think even the lake view might be worth splurging on. It's even nicer to see the mountains. Overall, we had such a good time. The only point of criticism I have is when it comes to the breakfast, which only comes as this set menu of Western and Japanese style, and unfortunately, at least for me, I would have loved to have a couple more sweet options, maybe more fruit options. It was a bit more on the savory side, and unfortunately, because the buffet was pretty small, you couldn't really add much to that. We recently visited the Hilton Yala Resort in Sri Lanka, which is a very kind of also high-end small hotel, and the way they approached this topic was that they had a slightly bigger buffet, but they also had an a la carte menu where you could order different smaller dishes to kind of customize your breakfast more, and I wish the Ritz-Carlton would have taken that approach. Now, this is not the biggest complaint. This hotel is still absolutely fantastic, and if you are traveling to Tokyo, then definitely spend maybe 2, 3 or 4 days, take a rental car, drive out to the Ritz-Carton Nikko, enjoy the nature and enjoy this absolutely incredible property. So that's it from my side, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!